So I figured out the only AI business that's worth starting going into 2026. You probably clicked this video because you're somebody that wants to get to 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. Like you see all this internet money out there and you're trying to figure out like, hey, how can I get a piece of this, right? Like how can I start making some damn money, move out, get a Porsche and do all these cool things, right? I've been in the online business space for a couple of years. I made my first 10K month when I was 19 after dropping out of college. And I've never seen an opportunity quite like we see with AI. You know, there's all these trends that come and go, drop shipping, day trading. Not to say people don't keep making money with them, but they hit certain peaks, right? If you go to like Google search terms or whatever it's called, you'll be able to see if you compare search terms on what's the most Googled thing. And right now it's AI by far. And I took a bet. You know, I started an AI business a couple of months ago. I scaled it to 20 grand a month in a few months. And I took a bet that AI is one of those trends that's not going to die. But it'll follow a similar curve that we've seen with things like SMMA, right? SMMA, everybody was talking about it a couple of years ago. And now it's died down. But even though the popularity's died down, there's still people in the background printing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month doing it. So I think it'll be that type of case where everybody's talking about AI now. Most people won't make money with AI. A few will. And as the trend dies down, there's going to be less competitors and less people trying to enter the market and more people that are actually making money with it. Okay. I decided today was the first day in Miami where it's 50 degrees outside. So I was like, why don't we bring out the puffer, dude? I never get to bring out the damn puffer, but, and a nice little peppermint mocha, you know, what's better than that, man? I even got the frickin', you look at the TV, we got the cozy cabin playing in the background. You know some family member that does that. Puts like the little cabin fireplace in the background on the TV. Yeah, I do that. Anyways, what is the best way to actually make money with AI? The only thing I can speak about is from my own personal experience. So I'll just share with you what I'm doing and you can make a decision as to whether you think it's a good route for you to go down or not. Something else that I've realized is that the best business opportunity and business model, there's not a universal one. It's according to you and your skill set and your strengths, right? You know, I'm somebody that really has no issue talking to people, being on camera, talking to people on a call, doing sales. And so running a marketing agency has felt very easy for me, right? But other people, they don't want to talk to anybody. They want to be like that software startup tech guy that just sits behind the scenes on his laptop just pressing buttons, you know? And so it all depends on who you are as a person, right? There is no one size fits all. But what I can tell you is that I figured out very early on what it actually takes to make money. And it's very simple. You know, it doesn't take you being special or you being having a degree and all this crap, right? The only thing it takes is, in my opinion, being able to make somebody else more money. If you can learn the skill of making somebody else more money, you'll never have money problems in your life, right? And so the question becomes like, you know, how do I learn that skill? That is the power of AI, is that AI basically expedites the process to learning anything, right? Which is another reason why I think college is getting more obsolete. But I'll give you an example. When I first started my first agency, where I told you at like 19, I hit my first 10 grand month, I had to learn marketing because that's what I was doing. I was doing marketing for realtors. I had to learn marketing on my own. You know, I didn't have ChatGPT. I had Google and that type of stuff, but really I had to learn from books. So I decided to whip out my favorite marketing book of all time. It is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. If you want to get good at marketing, this is the book to read. A lot of what marketing is psychology, right? And this book, I mean, dude, if you read this book, I'll give you a certification. You have a degree in marketing now. But you know, I had to read a book to learn how to market and to learn how to create ads. I had to, you know, ask mentors, and you can't really use Google for that. What ChatGPT lets you do now is it allows you to get really, really good at marketing. I talk about this on my channel. You know, the 3 ways to do marketing to cold traffic to strangers is paid ads, cold outreach, and content. And I tell people, I'm like, hey man, if you have zero skill set and you want to learn the fastest way to getting to 10, 20, 30 grand a month, just get good at one of those three options. You just got to get good at one of those three. Pick one. Is it going to be outreach? Is it going to be content? Is it going to be ads? I started with ads, you know. I think that's another big reason why the whole business model I'm kind of explaining here is this idea of running a marketing agency that is powered with AI, both to help you on the actual marketing side of it, but also to be a salesperson for your clients, which we'll get there. And so when I started, I didn't understand this idea. If you're if you have no skills, right? And you ask me like, Christian, what should I do? What I would tell you is I'm like, hey, pick one of those three big dogs, outreach, ads, or content. Pick one of those three and spend every waking hour of your day getting extremely good at one of those three things. Because any one of those three things, forms of turning a stranger into leads, right? Via content, ads, or outreach, is the most powerful skill you can obtain. If you learn how to do cold outreach, whether it's through a cold call, cold email, cold DM, any other type of cold outbound, if you learn how to do that and how to actually profitably do a cold outreach campaign to generate more money, you have a skill that's going to serve not only you, but your clients forever. And so what I'm telling you, and this is the advice I wish I would have followed, is just get good at that one thing for yourself and also as the thing you deliver as a service. That's the beautiful thing about learning how to build a marketing agency. You look at somebody, take any other business out there. You have to learn so many other skills. Not me saying that you don't have to learn other skills when you're running an agency. You have to learn sales, marketing, operations, hiring, fulfillment, customer support, the whole 9 yards, right? But the fundamental principle that I'm telling you is that when you run a marketing agency, the thing you're delivering is your expertise and skill set on cold outreach, paid ads, or content. That'll also be the thing that drives clients for your business. So when we have this focus on this one thing, let's say it's outreach, you're going to be able to do it for yourself to reach out to plumbers, doctors, dentists, whoever you're reaching out to. You're going to be able to get good at that skill for yourself to generate clients, but you could also have that as the actual offer that you do. And so if you want to get good at cold outreach, you read this book. Then you go to ChatGPT and you say like, hey, based off of Russell Brunson's frameworks, help me create a script for blah, blah, blah type of niche. Same thing with paid ads, right? It's all fundamentally the same exact thing. It's turning a stranger into a lead. So hopefully you get the idea that I'm telling you. It's really, really important stuff. With a marketing agency, and the way that I'm telling you to do it is you use AI to actually to expedite the process of learning the skill of turning a stranger into a lead and into an appointment. And you do it for yourself to get clients, and you also do it as the thing you deliver for your clients, right? So if I was restarting over again and I had to get to 10 grand a month, like next year, 2026, what would I do? For me personally, what's the skill I'm learning? Well, paid ads take money, right? You need money. So you need give 5, 10 grand to throw out ads for yourself. Content, you need, here's kind of my idea. Paid ads, I wouldn't start with, because if you want to get good at paid ads, you're going to be doing it for yourself and for your clients and managing their ad spend. That's what I did. But when I got started, I didn't have money for paid ads. So I had to learn how to do outreach on my own for myself and then how to do paid ads for my clients, right? Again, if I'm restarting over, what am I learning? Outreach. How to do outreach. I don't care what platform it's on, LinkedIn, X, Twitter, whatever. I don't care if it's a cold call, a cold email. I'm learning how to do cold outreach effectively. And so you get the idea that I'm telling you, which is just get good at one of those skills to be able to generate attention and leads. And use AI and use his book to help you learn it. And then the thing that you can actually deliver to clients is appointments. The most valuable thing in a business is appointments. It's the blood of the business. It's the revenue, right? And so if you can go to a business and let's say you're offering outreach and you tell them like, hey, I built an outreach process on cold email or on X or on Instagram that can send X amount of messages and get you about Y leads per day, right? What you could then tell them is like, hey, I don't only want to bring you leads that are interested over the DM or over call or over text. I want to make sure that you have booked appointments on your calendar so you have an opportunity to convert that lead. And that is where we actually utilize AI, right? And all the tools that we use there to be able to use AI as a salesperson to convert a lead into an actual appointment. That's the value in AI, right? We're using ChatGPT just to help us understand the skill of marketing and cold outreach or ads or content. But where we utilize AI in the delivery process is in the appointment setting, right? Go High Level has a feature. Agent Kong has a feature. What's the other one? AppointWise has it. Like, there's so many companies that do that right now. I think it's the best utilization of AI is as an appointment setter. Not via call. I'm thinking more like DM, email setter, texting setter, right? AI voice call setters are just not there yet, in my opinion. They will be very soon. It depends when you're watching this. But if I were restarting over and I was like, hey, what is the simplest way to 10 grand a month with an AI business? I would start an AI marketing agency. Very simple. I'd get good at one skill, and if it was me, up to me, if I was restarting, I'd do outreach, right? And the outreach platform that I'd learn is the one that my clients hang out on. Maybe you have a question, hey Christian, I don't know who to sell to, what clients? Sell to somebody that sells something expensive. Because if you can bring appointments for a company that sells something expensive, those appointments are worth a lot of money. And that means you can charge expensive prices. If you work with a low ticket, low margin business, your business is going to be a reflection of that. That's the one thing in the agency world I don't think enough people talk about. The type of business you work with is a reflection of your business, right? If you work with a business that sells something low ticket and low margin, think like a barbershop. They charge like a $30 haircut, low margin with rent, equipment, other people in the shop. Your business is going to be a reflection of that. You're not going to be able to charge a high ticket price. You're going to have a low ticket, low profit business. So I would sell to somebody that sells something high ticket and highly profitable. I sell to realtors right now. You can sell to realtors, to roofers, high ticket services, coaches, any business that sells something for more than a couple $1,000, because the appointments that you can bring them with the process like we're talking about here is worth a lot of money to them. And that's how I got to the point where I'm able to charge $5,000 up front to a client, because I'm able to justify the price at a 10x base. That's how I justify pricing. Your pricing, the value of your pricing should be 10x the actual price. So if I'm charging $5,000, I should be able to bring you $50,000 worth of value. This is also how we start thinking when we want to make some real big money. You know, a lot of people, they're charging way too cheap for their agency services. Charging a couple $100 a month. I'm like, dude, you know, you can get rich, but you might just have gray hair and freaking be bald. You can't do both of those. You're either going to be bald or have gray hair by the time you actually get rich. You want to be charging more money, and that should be the goal, right? Because it requires fewer amount of clients, obviously. And so the way that you can get there is by starting off by selling to somebody that sells something expensive. Sell to a rich person. Sell to people that have money. They have the same problems as somebody who doesn't have money. Or excuse me, not the same problems, but they have problems that they're willing to solve them, except they actually have the pockets to solve them and to pay you to solve them. You get the idea that I'm trying to say. Your pricing should be a 10x. The value of your pricing should be 10x the actual price. It takes time to get good at that. It takes time to actually get somebody an ROI and get a case study. And so you start by not charging up front. When I restarted this AI business that I just started, I wasn't charging $5,000 up front. I was just charging my clients per appointment that I brought them. It was very easy for them to say yes to work with me. And that's how I got good at the thing and got convicted in actually selling it for $5,000 up front. See what I'm saying? So I would start an AI marketing agency to answer the point of this video. I'd get good at one thing, and for me, it would be outreach. I'd do it every single day to wherever my clients hang out at. My clients are high-ticket companies. I'd have an offer that's a no-brainer since I have no case study starting off. So just a performance offer, you know, pay per appointment, or pay when we get you a deal, or don't pay anything right now, pay everything once we deliver, you know, X amount of appointments. That's how I would structure it. And if you just start, right, it's like anything, dude. If you're trying to ride a bike, you know, you're not going to look at the bike and say like, oh man, like look at the gears. They might be messed up. Like this is the common overthinking people have in business. Business is very similar to everything in life. It's very similar to dating. It's very similar to video games. It's very similar to the gym, right? When I started going to the gym 5 years ago during COVID, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know, I have videos on my Snapchat. I see videos of me when I started lifting. I'm like, bro, this guy's an idiot. But I thank this idiot because he got started in it, which has led to where I'm at today. If I didn't start, I'd be here today still an idiot. And so I guess the last word I'll leave you with is to encourage you to just start. There's supposed to be unknowns. You're not supposed to know everything. You don't deserve to yet. You haven't put in 6 months, a year of effort. If you can commit to doing something, one particular thing for a year straight, you will win. But the most common thing that hurts entrepreneurs is overthinking, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, mindset issues, and jumping ship. Shiny object syndrome, switching things up, switching the outreach process, switching who we're selling to, switching the offer, switching everything up. Does it make sense to adapt sometimes like I did with this new AI trend? Yeah, because I bet that AI is not going to lead, you know? So there are times where it is good to pivot, but it comes with experience on knowing when to pivot and when it's a shiny object. And I've made mistakes in my career so far that have costed me a lot of money. But those are mistakes that help me learn. So that's it for this video. I'm going to get back to work and drink my little peppermint mocha. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got value out of this. And let me know if you did. I'll see you soon.